If you overuse Twitter, does it mean your life's in the... Why not? Yeah, they send tons of angry tweets to make their miserable lives complete. Just 25% of Americans use Twitter, and just 25% of those who use it are responsible for 97% of the posts, according to a new study from the Pew Research Center. Pew. So funny. 25% is a pretty small group, and it's likely much smaller when you remove people like me who only tweet to promote stuff. And don't forget, I'll be in Newark, New Jersey on December 12th. Get your tickets at gutfeld.com. And also buy Andrew Yang's book. It's called Forward. Now, it's probably more like 10% that's doing all the idiotic tweeting that the media keeps pretending reflects actual public opinion. So maybe it might not be such a good idea that we keep using it as a barometer for who needs to be canceled, fired, and banished from public life. Why not do it the old-fashioned way by seeing if accused witches can float? Trolls shouldn't have more power in real life than they do in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. The study also found that people who are the most active on Twitter are also more than twice as likely to experience abuse on the platform, which means they look for trouble the way Hunter Biden looks for chunks of Parmesan cheese. Honestly, we've already solved this problem years ago.
Are you worried that your social network is mining your personal information and sharing it with political operatives?
I can't believe Facebook using my information to elect Donald Trump. How could they do this?
It never ends with this guy.
Maybe you should try Not Connected.
Never heard of it.
It's the world's first offline online social network.
Huh?
It's on your computer right now if you want to give it a try.
Hey, how did you get it on my computer?
Let's not worry about that now. Just give it a try.
Okay. Think I'll post a clever tweet about the president, see what happens.
The key to Not Connected's highly advanced technology is that it looks just like most social networks, but you're not on the internet. In fact, you're not connected to anything. Your posts simply bypass Twitter and Facebook and end up here. Meanwhile, what do you see?
Wow! It was retweeted 1,000 times. Every one of my tweets is retweeted 1,000 times. Thanks, Not Connected.
You know, Mercedes, how scary is it to think that, like, we believe that maybe it could just be 100,000 people that are actually tweeting? I mean, and yet we amplify the importance of this network. And it actually does influence people's lives.
Well, you know, as a mother of 5 younger kids and talking to, like, the teenage kids and the college kids, are like, we don't even use Twitter. They're, like, on Instagram. They're on different social media platforms. TikTok. So and TikTok.
Snapchat.
So it makes it into this, they're not even paying attention. They think the adults are just insane for going on Twitter and acting like a bunch of school kids, like, in bullying each other to schoolyard. Now, with that being said, Matt Schlapp spends a lot of time on Twitter, and let me tell you, he gets into trouble all the time.
That's your husband, yeah. It is mostly dudes,
yes,
right? Which is interesting. What's weird about it is, it's funny. Like, I will try to promote a book or promote a show.
Yeah.
It makes no difference. In fact, if I don't tweet about this show, or I tweet about it, you don't see the ratings change at all. It stays the same.
Yeah.
But however, Twitter can actually impact your life.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You can't do the reverse.
Twitter is a fight club for people who don't want to get hit. That's what it is. You go on there and get called names and get beat up and stuff like that. It's incentivized conflict because it rewards the most extreme takes on the ideological opposite, that people will give you, like, digital dopamine in your phone. You get a bunch of likes, but you're really just road raging with someone who's not on the same highway as you.
That's true.
It's so stupid, like, when you really think about it, but the dangerous part is that they do have say. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're driving news narratives. Part of the reason we're watching a Kyle Rittenhouse trial right now is because people on Twitter had more empathy for a dirtbag who sexually assaulted a woman at knife point and got shot by the cops than the actual woman who got sexually assaulted and the kid who got potentially abducted. And in their worldview, that made sense. So the whole country's on fire right now because they have a say that they don't deserve. These people, we know who they are. They're losers, you know? And there's nowhere in the world where there'd be a guy who'd be better off if only he spent another 5 minutes on Twitter.
Yeah.
No one is writing that country song.
You're not going to be on your deathbed going, I wish I had another hot take on Twitter.
Yeah, if only I had one more.
I'll be live tweeting the whole thing.
Well, do you know you don't do as much social networking?
See, I do. I post, but then I just don't look at it. Like, I don't look at what people reply because I can logically understand these people, like, they're losers. Who would, go after a stranger like this? Who would say that? I can logically understand that, but still when I see it, I'm like, oh my God, why would they say that? And I get upset. Or in the case of my Instagram comments, disgusted. Like, does your wife know you're on here doing this? So I just don't look. I can still post, but I just don't look.
Yeah.
And that's because of my impeccable self-control.
That is amazing. There are people on Twitter who who watch the show and tweet. I actually enjoy that more than I watch, because I've already watching the show right now. So I look at what Twitter's doing. So I know everybody who's watching right now. Andrew, we talked earlier about the great cool off. Can you actually have a cool off with a social media platform that thrives on not cooling off?
It's tough. You know what's fun is I think you and I got in touch on Twitter. The platform does have a lot of utility, and it drives a lot of press narratives, to your point. Jonathan Haidt, who's a scholar at NYU, talks about a setting where you could actually not see the stuff that's consistently more aggressive, inflammatory, derogatory. Imagine that. Imagine if you could set that kind of filter. That's the kind of thing we're going to need, because right now, again, the extremity gets rewarded. The more aggressive I am on Twitter, the more likely I am to get engagement, get a rise out of someone, a reaction. When I get on Twitter, and I'm on Twitter an awful lot because of my job, you do have to kind of put the hard hat on and go in and if you see something, just let it slide right off your back, because if you engage with it, you're just going to end up heightening the visibility and rewarding the person who's like, ooh, let me see if I can stick it to someone.
Yeah, God love the mute button, is what you're saying. The mute button is the greatest thing about Twitter, because people keep yelling at you.
I used to mute, but now I block.
You do
they
a
don't
little.
deserve me.
But you're right. Like, there's so many. It's so funny. There's so many broken people. Like, I can post a picture and be like, it's my dog's birthday, and they'll be like, yeah, but Trump. And I'm like, my dog didn't vote. You know what I mean? In fact,
Or did he?
Well, he's dead. So if he did, he's a Democrat.
Voted in Georgia. All right. I don't even know what that means. It'll show you. So if you do this, buy this book, that will have an impact. If you say buy this book on Twitter, not so much. Yeah, he's impressed.
No, I believe it. We're going to see the sales. It's going to shoot up the charts.
You're going to sell at least 100,000 tonight.